This week I am revealing my new Todoist setup and I'm really excited to show you this. Hello and welcome to another episode of my Working with Todoist series. My name is Pullein and this week it's all about a new organization structure that I have set up in Todoist. Now I did reveal this a couple of weeks ago in my Working with Apple series, and if you didn't see that, there is a link up there for you. But this week I wanted to show you how I'm actually using this in my very own Todoist, because that's the application that I'm using every single day. Now the reason behind this is because when I did my end of year review last year, I discovered that first of all, I wasn't using labels, not in the strictest sense at all, and I certainly wasn't getting the most value out of projects. So that got me to question some of my assumptions about how I'm organizing my actual to-do list manager. And in the end, I discovered that really the most important thing is, first of all, I have to identify what tasks are important, which ones are going to have the biggest impact on my day. And secondly, which ones need to be done this week or next week or perhaps this month or next month or maybe a little bit long term. And that's essentially how I came up with this structure. Now I'm sure it's not unique, I'm sure there are other systems very similar to this, but I've been testing this now for over a month and I have to say it works brilliantly. It's really speeded up my system. So without further ado, before I take you into my Todoist, I would just like to ask, if you do get any value from this video, then please hit that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to get the latest tips, tricks and news about Todoist, then please subscribe to the channel. And one more thing before we do go into Todoist is, if you have any questions about this system, I would be most grateful if you would just add them to the comments section below and I will get round to answering them as quickly as I can, because I think this system really could help you. Okay, it is now time finally to take you in to my very own Todoist. Okay, so here it is. Here is my new organization structure. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I explained why I had stopped using labels, and labels, as I will show you right now, are empty. I have no labels. Labels are no longer part of my whole system. But like I explained in that video, it does depend on the type of work you do. If you're in sales and you have a lot of calls to make and follow-ups, then labels are going to be very useful. But for me, I don't have any of that kind of work to do. So in my case, labels are just not useful. But today's purpose is to explain my new organization structure, a structure that I've been working on since October last year, but I wanted to make sure it worked properly and effectively before I announced it or told people how I am organizing things. Now, I'll go into more detail in a future episode about my purpose and objectives. I have covered this in a video anyway, but that is still there. This is essentially a project that contains my weekly objectives, my monthly objectives and purpose that I'm trying to accomplish in this month. It's kind of like a dashboard view to keep me focused on what I have decided is important to me right now. And I will put a link to the video that I covered this at the end of this video. What I really want to show you is this area here: this week, next week, this month, next month, long term and routines. Now these projects, let me start with next week let me start with next week because this is just the simple project. This is basically the task that I have decided I will do next week. Now there's a reason why I'm not showing you this week right now, is because that's a little bit more complicated. But for now, this is basically how I throw in tasks. So if I collect something in my inbox and I decide, okay, I cannot do that this week, I just do not have the time, then I am going to just throw and drag and drop that task straight to this next week. I don't need to date anything. Obviously, I'm not using labels. I certainly don't need to flag anything because we're talking about next week. And next week is not something I am concerned about right now. I am only concerned about this week. So these are for tasks that I just decided I'm going to do next week. Now, of course, we're right at the very beginning of February that I'm doing this. So what about tasks that I think, well, I need to do this month, but I don't need to do next month? Well, that's why we have this month folder. And I can do this in here and just throw in the tasks that I really want to get completed this week. Now you'll see here that I've got a reminder task. I still use my reminder task. My gym membership is due every 3 months. I pay my gym membership every 3 months, and that's due on the 25th of February. Now, whether I pay that on the 25th, I might pay it on the 23rd, I might pay it on the 22nd, I might actually not pay it until the 26th or 27th. So what I will do is I will change the date. I don't need to complete this task, but when it comes up, I will just change the date to 3 months in the future, and it'll just still come up as a reminder task. So essentially, because this is a project view, I can drop that down to the bottom, and this is basically why I don't need my tickler file anymore either, because my ticklers can just come up in roughly around about the time that they are due, and I can make a decision. As I say, I have actually dated this because this is a genuinely dated task. And then we've got next month, and that's for things at the moment right at the very beginning of February. So I've not added anything for next month yet, but as the month progresses, I'm sure there'll be tasks that I think I don't need to do this month. I will do that this next month, and I'll just throw it in there. And then I have long term, and these are for tasks that these would be like someday maybe, if you like, things that I really want to have a look at. And again, once a month I will actually have a look at this, and I will see, do I really want to do these tasks or not? And if I do, I can actually bring them into this week, next week, or this month, depending on the time. And of course, I've got my routines. My routines haven't changed because I don't want to be messing around with those daily tasks that just need to be done. They're going to come up, and I'm going to start moving them forward when and I just don't want them filtering into this and confusing the whole system. So I've kept my routines. They are all still there, just down at the bottom of my task list. So essentially now let's move into this week, because I want to show you this one. This week is kind of important. These are all the tasks that I've decided I'm going to do this week, and what I've done is here they are all dated and they are all in for this week. However, when I was doing my cleaning up and changing Todoist, I did have a load of areas of focus and areas of mastery. But what I noticed in there was a lot of tasks that were just recurring, because these were the things that are moving me forward. This is why they're different from routines. Routines do not move me forward. Routines do not help me to improve, to achieve my goals. They just have to be done. They're admin tasks, if you like. But areas of focus, the recurring tasks on areas of focus, are important. These things do move me forward, like writing my blog post, preparing my Learning Center learning note, preparing next week's podcast, and taking a picture of my body transformation, because I'm doing some testing with some exercise and diet programs at the moment, and then some posting this week's blog post and editing this week's blog. These things move me forward, and I want them coming up. So they are important, and they come up every week. So I have kept these in. They are already dated, and as they are important tasks, they are already flagged. They're pre-flagged. So that means when I do my Focus 10, what I used to call the Golden 10, when I do the Focus 10 every day, I can see immediately the areas of focus that I want to make sure I'm doing, plus anything else that I've scheduled for the week. Also, what I've been able to do, and what I've done here, is I've used this as a section. As you can see, it's a section here. I know there are 13 regular tasks. What I find is if this week, once I've done my week review, has more than 25 tasks, I'm in trouble. I am going to really struggle to complete more than those tasks. Over the last 6 weeks or so that I've been running this system, that is what I've found. Once it gets to 30 tasks, it becomes meaningless, because I know I'm not going to complete all those tasks this week. So I'm being very careful monitoring this, how many tasks are in this area here, because these are additional tasks that I've decided want to be done this week, some of which have to be done this week, and that is why I'm being very careful with this number. I'm checking that number when I do my week review on a Sunday, because I don't want that to go above 30. If it goes above 30, I know I am going to really struggle. Now, this system, I must point out, will probably not work for everyone. If you work in a project-based environment and you're working with other people in a collaborative sense, this probably will not work for you. You will need to organize by projects. But for a lot of people out there, if you just stop and ask yourself, how often do I go into my project folders and work from them? If you find that you very, very rarely do, this might be a system that could work a lot better for you. It's working brilliantly for me. It's saving a lot of processing time, and my week review, which used to take 40 to 50 minutes, now only takes about 20 minutes, because I'm just moving things forward and double checking that they are still relevant. So there you go. I'm going to cover some more of this over the next couple of weeks, just to give you and also answer any questions. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about this, and I will cover those in some future episodes, and this to show you how it works, how it operates on a day-to-day basis. But for today, I just wanted to give you an overview of how this is working, how I use it, and why I have changed over to this system. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you very much for watching this video. Now, have I got something special to tell you about. The Time and Life Mastery version 3 course has launched. Now, this course is transformative. It will transform your life. If you find that your life is drifting from one day to the next, and that you feel that you're not actually achieving your goals, then this course is going to show you how to change that. It's going to show you how to identify what is truly important to you. It's going to show you how to find what it is you want out of life, and then show you the steps that you need to take in order to get there. This course is amazing. The feedback I've got from versions 1 and version 2 have just been tremendous. It has helped so many people, and I want this opportunity to tell you that it can do the same for you. I hope you will take a look at the course, have a go, take the course, and start transforming your life today. This course will do that for you. Take a look, get yourself enrolled, and hopefully I'll see you in the course.